Getting new customers for your website or media agency can be relatively easy. But the question is, what customer retention strategies have you got in place in order to keep hold of those customers so that in a year's time or a few months' time, they're not going to go to another competitor? Now, this doesn't just apply to website and media design agencies, but also applies to a lot of other types of businesses. You know, we spend so much time, money and effort in getting those customers. If you understand anything about the Pareto law, it goes on the basis of it's 80-20 type of law, whereby 80% of your business can come from 20% of your customers just by serving them well. So in today's video, I'm going to tell you 7 strategies which I have learned by running my own digital marketing agency, which I'm pretty sure that you're going to find of great value to implement into your business in order to keep hold of those customers for a longer period of time. Be clear about their objectives. So this is where a lot of businesses fall, because they haven't really got a process in place to understand what their clear objectives are. What are they really hoping to achieve when they approach your website or media agency? You know, is it sales? Is it brand awareness? Is it leads? And if it is any one of those, then put some numbers behind them, put some KPIs so that you know exactly where you are currently. So in other words, you're creating a benchmark and where they really want to be. What this will do is it will make sure that the strategies that you implement into your web or media agencies are in line with their objectives. Manage customer expectations. So what do I mean by this? A customer will typically come to you and say, hey, for example, they might want a website, and it might be a really complicated website, and they might say, hey, I want it within 4 weeks. Ask yourself, is it really achievable? And if it's not, then rather than saying yes just to win the business, learn to say no, it's not achievable within this time scale. But what we can do is we can do whatever timescales that you think is realistically achievable, whether it's 2 months or 3 months, or just give a plan of action to say, tell you what, within 1 month we can develop these features and we'll do XYZ, and month 2 we'll do this, and month 3 we'll do this. What you've done now is you've managed their expectations, and they are no longer expecting the website to be done within 1 month, because if you don't achieve that, all that's going to happen is you're going to let them down, they're not going to be happy, and you're not going to be happy either. Engage with your customers. So what do I mean by that? You know, it's really easy that we get caught up in our day-to-day type of work and we start sending out lots of emails and so on. But emails don't really build relationships. Sometimes it's good to have a process put in place whereby, you know, every week or every 2 weeks or every 3 weeks, you're going to pick up the phone and you're going to talk to them. You're going to tell them what's been going on. You're going to tell them what your plans are. You can ask them questions about, hey, you know, do you have any more requirements? Or you're going to clarify what the current requirements are, and so on and so on and so on. What you're doing is you're building up that rapport with this customer, and you're adding a human element and not just relying on emails or text messages. And don't feel afraid to say, hey, let's meet up, because there's nothing like meeting physically up. You know, over a coffee or whatever, and just sitting with each other, and again you're building that rapport with your customer, you're building up that trust, and there's things that you would do or say, or your customer may do or say, which they wouldn't otherwise say over the phone. Be proactive. So what I mean by this is, you know, don't just wait for a situation to happen and then think, damn, what are we going to do about this? Yeah, you're the experts in your field, so you should know what are the emerging technologies, what's new, what's old, what should the customer be doing. So if you foresee a situation whereby, hey, in 2 months time this customer may have an issue on XYZ due to various factors like seasonality or demand or something, rather than waiting for it to happen or just waiting for the customer to get back to you, tell them about it. Pick up the phone and say, hey, what do you think about this? Or what do you think about this new technology? Or what are we going to do when a certain event approaches, or a certain seasonal festive event approaches? Yeah, what strategies can you put in place? So basically, be proactive in terms of not just waiting for the customer to tell you. You tell them. You're the experts. Be transparent. Now, it's really easy to hide stuff away from your customers. If something's not going right, then hey, shall we not tell the customer because they might not find out, or let's do a workaround or something. But the chances are that it's going to be short-lived and you will get caught out very, very, very soon. So if you're developing something and it's not going to plan and there's a problem with it, just tell the customer, hey, we've had this situation. We know we've quoted you, it's going to be done by the end of the day, but it's not going to be because of these reasons. Don't hide stuff away, and don't be afraid to educate your customers in terms of exactly what you are doing. It's unlikely that the customer is going to go away and do it themselves because they normally don't have the resources or the knowledge in order to do it. So don't be afraid to just be open with your customers and tell them exactly what you're doing. And again, by doing so, you're building a relationship with your customers. Not only are you building a relationship with your customers, but you're building trust. And it's the trust aspect that is going to help them to say, you know what, I might be able to get this service cheaper elsewhere, but I trust these guys because I know what they're like. They're open with me, they're transparent with me, so I want to stick with them. Give additional value. So what I mean by this is, customers will typically come to you and say, I want X. Well, just think to yourself that, it's great delivering just X, whatever X might be, whether it be a website or whether it be a logo or whether it be a billboard advertisement or a marketing strategy. But think outside the box, because remember, you're the experts again, right? So don't just do what they told you to, go the extra mile. And that's where you're really going to help bring value to your customers, by going that extra mile and showing the customers that you genuinely care for their business. You're not just doing whatever they're paying you to do. You're going above and beyond the call of duty. Provide the customer with meaningful reports. Now, in my digital marketing agency, we take on so many customers from other agencies, and I have seen some horrendous reports that are absolutely meaningless. And what you're doing is you're blinding your customer with science. Again, this is short-lived. By giving meaningful reports, in terms of what, which are in line with their KPIs, whether it be how much revenue they've generated, what their ROI is, or what their cost per lead is, or cost per acquisition is, and so on. These tangible types of metrics which you can provide to your customers, that's what's going to help them to assess whether they are in line with their objectives, or if they're not, then what changes do we need to put into place? Not just me or you or the agency, whatever, but work as a partnership to say what sort of changes do we need to put in place in order to fix whatever issues are, because we're not meeting certain KPIs, and that information can only come from the reports. So that's it, guys. What would be really interesting to see is what are the strategies that you're putting in place, or have you put any strategies in place, not just for customer acquisition, but customer retention? It'd be great to hear that what you're doing within your business, which may work, may not be working as well. And while it's at it, please click on the link below. I've put together a guide for website and media agencies on how to attract new customers using Google Ads. I'm sure you're going to find it of great value. Take care, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye-bye. Oh, by the way, I know I told you I'm going to give you 7 different strategies, but I gave you 9. And that's only because I wanted to give you value. Take care, guys. Goodbye.